Brett Huntley. David Brink. John Chanson.
Hello, I'm Hutch Balham for No 99 Television, and I'm here at the Galvin Playhouse in Tempe, Arizona, on the ASU campus. Today, Tom Brokaw, veteran anchor of the NBC Nightly News, will soon be receiving the prestigious Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism. In addition, Tom Brokaw will also give us some insight into his wonderful news experiences from covering the civil rights movement in the 1960s to the present-day war in Iraq.
There's already a difference between us. When I was an undergraduate, there was no way that I was going to be somewhere at 8:30 in the morning, except sleeping it off.
In the beginning, Tom Brokaw spoke to a packed crowd of ASU students.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Although he is best known as a famous news anchor, the most rewarding part of his career was the time he spent in the field as a correspondent.
For the most part, but found the greatest satisfaction in my job in getting my hands on the material and getting out from behind the anchor desk to the side of a story anywhere in the world or in this country and getting it in shape and getting it on the air. That was far more gratifying to me than putting on makeup and reading out loud at the end of every day.
Good evening. The American military investment in Iraq is going up from 100.
Even though I stepped down from Nightly News, I still have a long-term arrangement with NBC, and I'm continuing to weigh in from time to time. I describe myself as the representative of the old anchorman's rest home. I come off the porch from time to time and go off and cover stories.
In addition, I asked Brokaw if there was still hope for our generation to improve, especially with all the problems we face today. With the news stories today, both locally and globally, where is our country headed?
I've talked a lot about this morning about China. You look what's going on in Central and South America. There's a political shift to the left down there in emerging economies. We have a huge problem in the Middle East. It's not just Iraq, but what are the consequences of what is a failed experiment at this point in Iraq?
After his talk, I caught up with Brokaw outside the auditorium. I feel that for my generation, the future is really grim. Is there any hope for my generation?
Oh, there's a lot of hope for your generation because you have the tools and the resources to deal with the problems. It's not a matter of laying back and saying, oh my God, oh my God. Think about the greatest generation I wrote about. They came, when they were your age, the Great Depression was on. And it was a much different time. There was very little hope. And then as soon as there seemed to be some hope, they had to fight the greatest war in the history of mankind. And they did, and they prevailed. So the way you prevail is by getting involved and not just going around hanging your head and saying, it's over, it's hopeless. You lift your head up and move forward.
After speaking at ASU, Brokaw arrived at the Arizona Biltmore, where he received the Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism. While I was at the Biltmore, I had the great opportunity to speak with another legendary news anchor, Walter Cronkite himself. I'm a high school journalist, and I'd like to know, have the ethics changed since you were a journalist?
Have I what?
Have the ethics changed since you were a journalist?
Ethics? No, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not with the young people who are just graduating from college. I get to meet them here. I think they're learning the important aspects of the journalism. And if the other schools are half as good as ours, then the business is in good shape.
Brokaw began his career with local television stations in Nebraska, eventually working his way up to anchoring the NBC Nightly News.
NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Tonight, from West Berlin.
Good evening, live from the Berlin Wall on the most historic night in this wall's history.
Tom Brokaw covered a variety of big stories, from the fall of the Berlin Wall to Tiananmen Square,
We have made it.
to the Columbia shuttle disaster. Brokaw literally experienced firsthand our world's history.
Success depends on a lot better security than now exists in that embattled country.
Brokaw continued to anchor nightly news right up to the present-day war in Iraq. He finally bid his farewell and stepped down from the anchor desk at NBC in 2004.
Well, the time is here. We've been through a lot together, through dark days and nights and seasons of hope and joy. Whatever the story, I had only one objective: to get it right. When I failed, it was personally painful, and there was no greater urgency than course correction. On those occasions, I was grateful for your forbearance and always mindful that your patience and attention didn't come with a lifetime warranty. And just as important, no one person has all the answers. And it is in that spirit that I say thanks for all that I have learned from you. That's been my richest reward. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday night. I'm Tom Brokaw. You'll see Brian Williams here tomorrow night, and I'll see you along the way.
Tom Brokaw, one of America's greatest voices in the news industry. I'm Hutch Ballham for No 99 Television. Thanks for watching.